wula alhamdu beka in kammala edo ko kai din duniya ko ku asola tala ihsanu to akai nani la kana ta fudan kuna kai ake tonya aka bali nin kuma ya ta discipline be to bimu ka karan bu moto in ya lon ka buka karan suwal kono sai floto ke mal ka dinne ko wala anna jam moy ba Lukman bin Adimo Kurula last stage, wala munji, psychological and mental discipline. I mean, if I do my Akako ya Puneya item do I do what the senior Samalela. Akako ya Puneya item do in context of Kono. I didn't fast from 13, Katafu fast from 19, Ala Koroside. Kabirit sorry, about 12 Kata 19. Lukmania Dimo Fatan defender in the Pru Akanate Akuwato. I am Bula Pusa in the Minka Tandim Fula through I work. Allah can understand. We will be able to grasp and understand and comprehend holistically the meaning of what is called discipline. Lakin ala kumayana da Lukman ka di ko. Akaya ko ya bunayya idan dimo. Akaya ko in takun misqala habatin min khardalin fi saqalatin aw fi samawati aw fi al-ard ya'ti biha Allah. Abu inna Allah munya sabu ako focusing at where the jamin like an atom or even a proton or even a neutron as can capillary jaji careful. But in the proton and the neutron, the smallest particles, and man is still going to break the atoms and the protons and the neutrons into smaller pieces among them follow. Scientifically it's not yet said, but Quran wa kafaila ko abinale dum bina. So walakin nalindula kumata. Ekatindi wakarandi self-confidence la ya faiko. This is the principle of accountability and transparency. Under the karambolto, under the total kono, corruption will be caught and will be eliminated if this is well ingrained and inculcated in the minds of the young generation. Akaiko samoto ya tanyawanya. Now the Perokona, the South, imagine the vastness of the universe. Abu Alaba Natal, the Cat, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Latifun Khabirun, I some of Evan, and in at a Sawan Kayane, Mobuka Fahamuno, at a Maleal, Allah Jamwede. Hearing for Tindu, my Hana Suyaro, Kanika Teliata, Bafulan Teliata, not to get in the walk. On Dolbuka in next. This is the principle. In the Mukobe, Bambanding what you could all of the sense of transparency, the sense of responsibility, and the sense of accountability. Indian Kulata Dindimoko at the Mola Fensunyala, at the Faniafola, at the Molu Tapalela, at the Mol Kuriala, Katu Aya Londa, I some of them in cigarette, Alaya Londa Katu, you look man Kadimoeko, Yaki Allah, Alabanati, Abala Chanamala, Walatin the Dunia Kono. No matter where you are, in the water, in the air, on the earth, or on the earth, if someone thinks that it is there at the Pola Abetula Gere, Lumbina Abelona, وما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد. Kanin diamo min for afalabe dunkan in the electromagnetic vessel kono but lumbina hada madimo pitafuno kono la the bubbles diamo min bien ka ama jendel ayake ko asafe momo be palodi ibakaran. So for that matter, very interesting. But in Lukumani, Bandika, Dimoteda, Puna Ayateda, mentally, psychologically, Katandala for accountability, responsibility, I think transparency, no basis to be a long co. Neither Mali left the way that Alala, Million Catalan Palal, Abota Dumala, Akaya, Bunea, Akai, Akai, Akina Salat, Salo Lundi, any Alate, Salo Lundi, because Salo Puto moment, it is to connect yourself. It is a perpetual, continuous, and a very solid chain of connection between you and your creator. Madam, I can study in Allah tema, Wodeni Hadamadi will tema, connection of Kiji. More the Carlano Casali Akamol Tony, more the Carlano Casali Ala Kabol Toya, more the Carlano Casali, Hadamadi woman disciplines of the Waterkelano, that the Salo Kamo, when you say Yawanjamola, and in some of the society Mala. So when I saw Jakaku, I think it's Salat. But I identify a type of Wakamul bin Ma'aruf, the Tindual Kurud in Laba, the Tindual discipline in Laba, Fago, connection of the follow the relevant to follow the society. The Kaja Tinduo, Sade, therefore, is a Fago carry with Lincoln, Ipanidom, Ifandidom, Equatolom, having clear or not a killer, a bouquet talking, and they kill it, a month for being the other one more of what are the carrying? But problem on that because don't deviate we become social deviants. Mantara Poka Lingiata, politically, Islamically, and even culturally. Isn't that the problem? So bring look on Katiwaiko, Amusbil Maru, Kukendo, Kayamaro, Kalana, Dinwal Kuru, Kayamaro, Kukendo, La Funding Kelo, or Dinwalo, Marita Mimba Kuruka, Kata, it's an epitome of good fortune. It's a Kakala Sampulo, the Kamala, Nika Kukendo Yama, or the Panankakala Kukuru Yama, Kukendo Wado Wadikoyama. Display, present, and demonstrate before him. It is too sensitive and some of the talent. But it came by the Kopukela Anyala, I can put me along. It is in line with Islamic and it is in line with human practice. In the along for Imam Temple Madiati, Imam Temple. Akako wa amur bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. Kana for jinni wallo ina je chamber. Kuriye jamfa kujawol. Raye bandi wala tulamina fay inna dhalika min azmi al-umur. Nulla mkuwa ninja along patela pale atapaluwa bekon. I mean, kela connection with your community, with your community, with your brother. Bekon and encouraging people to be righteous and restraining people not to be evil and not to be doing what is not good. What is not good for themselves and not good for the community or society. So what happened to bring up money bandi I mean about the way akako wala tuqtir haddaka linnas. Ikano is a figure of speech. It's metaphorically. It means don't be too much pushing people aside, thinking that you are better than any other person. What are the king in the Jaman of it? Everyone thinks he's a king without any kingdom. Morning get a king, the kingdom table, you are a fool. You are in extreme war. You are in extreme war. ولا تصغر خدك للناس kale tamada jenkendi moje koni mulo kuranta aka kanade no kenyami ana tamada ka jenkenya ano the definition is so much touching and is so much penetrating near understand it akela rae bandi amina fadi way ako inna allah wala tamshi fil ardi maraha ikanata banko kan thinking that you are the superpower even America included in this verse. Canada, Bangkok, and individual and even nations are in this verse. Canada, Bangkok, arrogantly, boastfully, haughtily, thinking that you are everything, the superior power. Ako Canada. Ako nyadi, inna Allah la yuhibbu kulla mukhtalin fakhur. Ala man la fi a deceitful person la. Ala man la fi somebody who is arrogant. Akak waqf fi mashlik. Now for the knowledge. Now for funding killing. You be very motivated in your sense of purpose, in your ambition. You could be ambitious, but use the right means to reach the ambition, the goal. And we are coming to that. That is the vision and the mission. Don't think that people are wasting their time. So you are the Superman. You must go and supersede everything. No, you must do it. Accordingly. Follow the lines, the rules, and the prescriptions, and follow the available means for you to reach your objective and your long-term interest. Graye bandi wala minafai wa mujidmin sautaka ise kamo jindi. Ne kamo jindi wala ike famo jindi le. Kadu ni kamo ke famo kamo ma jindi is not the essence. The essence is you must be humble. You must be somebody who is doing things moderately. Graye bandi ayen misali minala. Itata wuru kel someone in keloni sonkolu. Internet over the social media. More the software, the telecade, the weary control. Ala ko inna andral aswat wa sawt al khamir. Some of them take up mandia, the most repulsive void nimbe adat call kono, olon farola wuru mandia. So these are the principles, the 12 fundamental principles. 4 BJ they are negative, but the 8 are positive. Ninga tindi one loading control with discipline and we build a nation. Nation means no amount of cultural invasion, no amount of cultural manipulation, no amount of misinformation, disinformation, and underinformation can influence their attitudes and their vision towards this life and their understanding of reality. Why they are here, when they are here, what are they here, and where shall they be tomorrow, inshallah. So this is the discipline public forward. Okay. Yeah, we are with you. Yeah, definitely we are with you. We have pleaded. Can I go to the second point? Yeah, you can, but we have pleaded on you to let the
deliver the lecture in English for now because we have some of our people here.
Okay. I will try as much as possible at least to just make 50% of it in English.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's get to the second point. That is, I think discipline, is it satisfactory?
Yeah.
Is it okay with you people? Okay. I'm just giving you the models. It is high time we do away with international because they are made and tailored. For specific, not universal, for specific societies. For that matter, we make sure that we just go and just dig into that gold mine of the Holy Quran and try to just bring out the most precious diamonds of intellectual discovery, of moral, fabrics, and spiritual profundity. We can get it from the Holy Quran if we are ready to delve into that ocean, which is called a shoreless ocean of knowledge, wisdom, and practical life systems, in the Holy Quran. Okay, let us move on to what is called vision. Before a vision comes, there must be a mission. Well, what is the difference between a vision and a mission? Well, I think all of you know that by looking at the dictionary, a vision will tell you is something that you see either in a state of trance, transcendental trances, or in a dream, and something that you think it is supernatural, it is not ordinary or normal, and you're bound to just execute or follow the commands given to you in that state of trance. But what is a mission? A mission is something that you are doing today. A mission is about today. And a vision is about tomorrow and the long-term future. This is the simple difference. When we say a mission is what I am doing today, and what is the purpose of my existence. This is mission. But when you say a vision is a plan, either it is in that sense of planning materially, spiritually, morally, ethically, name it. That has the appearance to bear fruits tomorrow in the long term or in the short term, but it is demonstrable in the future. What is a vision? It is planning, to put it in a very simple, succinct, and a very clear language. A vision is a simple message that tells you that you are supposed to do this, a planning for you to achieve something in the long run or in the future. For us to get all the necessary ingredients, what is vision? Let's revert back to the Holy Quran. It is a book. This book cannot be exhausted. This book is not for a specific generation. This book is the final book, the ultimate book, and the book that is going to accompany mankind to the end of time. And the function and the benefits of this book is limited for this world. In the next world, this book will not be there to tell you to pray because there is reward, and there is accountability, responsibility, and there is compensation for what you do, greater than what you are doing in the world. For that matter, this book has to be explored, this book has to be excavated, and this book has to be done, and this book has to be applied practically, and it must be a principle fundamentally in order for us to be who we are, and for us to go where we want to be, and to reach the destination that we have designed and drew for ourselves. Without going through this book, it will be very much impossible because we are living in a world of superior and inferior dominance. This world is a football field. It is a level field. If somebody, overcomes you scientifically, intellectually, academically, no matter how far you try that person, you can never catch him. And this is what is happening in the geopolitical sphere of the world. The superpowers are dominant because of their scientific technological powers, not because of the American dollar and the European Union euro, because they have the technological power. And that technology is what makes our life easy, and it makes it livable and productive in this earth. Unfortunately, it is very unfortunate. We are supposed to be at the top there, so that any other life will take the life from that bigger life of the Ummah called the Muslim Ummah. كذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس ويكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا. In that manner, we made you into a middle nation so that the prophet would be an example, an exemplary example for you, and for you to be examples for other nations. We're supposed to be there, or we're not supposed to be at the lowest step of the ladder of civilization. But when we compare situations, the situation is not comparable, limited to only material comparison. You know, what is important in human development and progress is the spiritual development and the moral development, and you have the material and the technological development. If the four developments are not mature, but you rely entirely on the technological and the material development, it is going to collapse and bring down your civilization, no doubt. Because civilization has to be guided by principles, and those principles have to be grounded in moral and spiritual reasons. So this is actually the introduction. Let's go to Surah Yusuf. Allahu Akbar. Surah Yusuf has given us somebody who wants to be a visionary. Ngani mfono pandinga kamala be danna pat bari aja fanya min koro jamu lonto ne nyam kata wata baya buka fano be fasa da buka sa don lonto Surah Yusuf today man look at Surah Yusuf and it's chapter 12 of the Holy Quran. Allah says subhanahu wa ta'ala alif lam ra tilka ayatul kitab al-mubin inna anzalnahu qur'anan arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qilun. You know, we have revealed it in that clear, in that eloquent, the word Arabiya. Well, sometimes even the opponents, they would use this term, referring that the Quran is, a linguistic, discriminative text. No, that is not true. The word Arabiya here means something that is eloquent, something that is clear, something that is unambiguous. It is very clear. That's why he says, Qur'anan Arabiyyan la'allakum. The pronoun is referring to everybody concerned. Ta'qilun, you use your mind, the power, the faculty for you to be sensible and rational and bring something out of it. And from there the Quran says, نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص. You know, this chapter is called the best of narrations, the best of stories. In fact, the word story is not even, it's not even good to be used for this word. A qasas means a narration, something, to narrate something accordingly, in either the general concept or the specific, according to the way it happened. That is called the narration. This is the best of narration. How are we going to build themselves from becoming visionaries? Because everybody can become another use of alayhi salam, depending on your understanding of the dynamics and the rules and the laws of existence and the laws of nature. Look at what this little, this great prophet, this great messenger is going to do. نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to Muhammad directly, but the import of the statement is general, is for all of us. Actually, the Bible narrated the story of Joseph, but the moral content and the moral fiber and the moral presentation, almost there are similarities, but the difference is in the moral content of the story of both books. نقص عليك أحسن القصص ما أوحينا إليك وإن كنت من قبل من الغافلين. But look at the story from verse number 4 to verse number 6. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. We must proclaim the name of Allah in this context. To say that and to demonstrate and establish that each and everybody can be a visionary, not only planning for your PhD degree, or planning for your master's degree, or planning to build a custom executive course for yourself and buy the latest car from GM Motors or from the Japanese or the Chinese. This is not actually the vision that I'm talking about. I'm talking about a vision that is going to be impactful, universal, and is going to be beneficial to everything that is existing on this earth. This is called vision. To be a visionary is not to see. It is the law. An incident or an accident that is outcome of the action from the opposite direction. And you want to hear it. must be a cause and effect. Madam Falka, come on, my love.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yeah, we are with you.
We are with you.
Okay. So Yusuf Jubel from verse number 4 and number 6. Allah Waiba. وإذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت أحد عشر كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. الله أكبر. ولكن مو visionality نتيجة. How can you construct and build your own vision? Number one, you must be in an immediate environment which is conducive and which will help you to develop that sense of imagination. Because every vision begins with a dream. And after the dream, there is imagination. After that imagination, there is reflection. And that reflection takes you from the earth right to the cosmos, to the sky. So, ولكن يوسف عليه السلام لا فما يكون planet tending clinic لا تبتلو عن الخروج فإنك الخروج من إسلام يفن بنيانه يفن بنيانه رأيتهم ساجدين يجري يفهم بنيانه وجن الجندمو هذا كلام بلوك كلام موكن دبالك هذا community من كل community كنولو وكي بايا لوني على aya gondi ala alharola ko dindi waya jeyani kebani kamina tenom din keba ka dindi wo mamona mumula teyale mo dindi wayno ranjam way bake for you to become a visionary so mo se mama ni mumuni mumkanin kilimo bena tekende ya foy laje dinne afrika patan afrika ko dimmo fo mo fa da mo buka fala fu kendo fo ko ولكن يعقوب جبيبا يعقوب بن كرندلا نيلا كجوا كلا visionary توتي أفايكو إفاما مو كند بالتي إماما مو كند بالتي إمو مو كند بالتي وفنا مو كند بالتي يدين ولا دمانو بيت مو كندوتي ودين وفم حكيلو كتيما يا ولا كنا أكاد visionary توتي وانو أفنا كلا بيكا مو كند يعقوب يقول كاتبو ولقد نبراك جموي وفاي بلا فاي أكاكو يا بني لا تقتلوا إياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين هذا مديات تجن مو لفت إلى الفشل وأيفمود مو لفت إلى حبو نمن لنكتوج anybody who wants to be a visionary and your vision to produce positive fruits in the future, you must make sure that the family environment that you are living on must be a source of inspiration for you, number one. Your father or your mother or your brother must be somebody who would be narrating to you the glory of your ancestors. The glory of your ancestors must be narrated to you all the time so that it becomes, so much, engraved in your consciousness, and you yourself would like to be part and parcel of that glory. This is what Yakuba was doing in his household. He was just instructing his sons. He was just, orientating them. He was just imbuing and inculcating to them that their ancestors were great people. And the youngest among them, that is Yusuf, out of that continuous sort of inspiration, he was able, to dream and to imagine and to reflect and to have a vision that one day I want to be a great man. And indeed, he was a great man. ولكن نكون vision in the Gambia. When we go in the Gambia, every school, on the wall of every school, there is written mission statement and the vision. But it is never applied. It is not there just to beautify the wall of the school, but it is never applicable. Because the proper channels is not there. The kids are not inculcated before those words are written on the wall. And what do you sit as a lifeless, objectless? In the classroom, imagine. Make sure that you put the ingredients in the minds of the young generation so that they can develop that sense of becoming visionaries. And I give you the first challenge, if you want to build vision, if you want to make a vision for yourself, the first challenge, make sure that you are going to face two very difficult opponents. That is your own people and the devil. That is your own soul and the vision or neighbor and improvement. These are the two major challenges that you face whenever you want to build or construct a vision for yourself. But let me go back a bit back. You know, if you want to build a vision, don't build a very, very minor vision. Don't just say, okay, if I have little, that's okay. Look at what Yusuf has done. Yusuf's vision has gone beyond the earth to the sky. The highest place, the sun and the moon, the planets. Look at this high vision. I mean, how Yusuf was able to build it. Because actually, Yusuf was taught and trained, you know, to see himself that he is part of a long chain of glorious people. Then the only way for him to become the greatest among them is to jump on and take his vision right from the earth, right into the cosmos there, into the sky. So your vision must be very high. Don't say, let me just get one thing and I'm done with it, that's enough for me. No. Make sure that your vision goes beyond the earth and even beyond the sky. They used to say the limit is the sky. But for a Muslim, the limit is never the sky, but the limit is the next life. The limit is the sky. In Africa, going beyond the sky. The limit is the next world, all of Al-Qiyamah. So, Yusuf Moya coming for 5 minutes. This tells you that whenever you build a vision, you want to become something in the future. Make sure that it is confidential in yourself. Don't reveal that important secret to anybody, even the intimate friends of you, much more your brothers. Don't tell them that I want to do this. Otherwise, you know, the devil is tempestuous. The devil can just tempt them to do something against you because you have a higher vision and you have a bigger vision. And human beings, whenever something comes out of the ordinary, they are always afraid or they are always ready to fight against them. Are you with me? So look at the way Yusuf did. وكذلك يتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تعابير الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك إبراهيم وإسحاق من قبل الله أكبر إن ربك عليم حكيم. Look at what the wisdom, the inspiration, the encouragement that this old man, this prophetic personality has put in the mind of that young boy. Okay, but because of that, based on that, your Lord, Allah is going to select you and get you near to Him, and you are going to become the interpretation of the actions of men in dreams and in their imaginations. And by that, Allah is going to complete the favors that it has done upon you. You are going to be the completion of the favor, and as it has completed it upon your father and your grandfather and your great-grandfather. Because your Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing and is all-wise. You know, this is the fourth way. This is the fourth, gate and principle. The fourth subject and class where we can just inculcate that sense of becoming a visionary for in the new generation. I'm just giving you a brief. Yusuf alayhi salam, the story continues like that. And in the course of the story of Yusuf, we will have a vision and we will have consistency. Yusuf's brothers conspire against him. They asked the old man to give him Yusuf to go with them. And the old man expressed his fear and his sorrows that when they go with him, you know, they might conspire against him. Actually, because the boy actually has a big vision. And when you have a big vision, the first challenge is against your own relatives. They will say, this man is going beyond the normal. We have to fight against him. Because your father, the parents will recognize and realize your potentials. And they will get you closer themselves. And they will pour their love upon you. And that love will become a cause of enmity and animosity in the minds of the other parents. So for that matter, Yusuf Jubi, they work with him, they conspire, and they said, we are the majority. And this is a simple person, but he is more lovable to the Father than we are. And they say, okay, when they took him to the pasturing field, they came back with his shirt and tainted in blood, and they say the boy was, devoured by a find a good soil. But look at the falsity of their statement. If you have a vision, you will be confronted by a lot of falsehood and falsity. They say the boy was devoured by a wolf. And we know that a wolf never moves in single, they move in groups. How can a single wolf devour a young boy? Where are the other wolves? Instead, they say a wolf ate the boy, devoured the boy. That is false. That is false. So whenever you have a vision, make sure that conspiration and people will conspire against you. They will fabricate stories and they will try to just kill you or just to eliminate you or just cripple your activities. From there, let's follow Yusuf. Yusuf went through a lot of trials and tribulations until the man is in Egypt. The person who bought him from the slave market was a governor. And in that house, the man realized the potentials of this man because the man has a vision. Any visionary person, people will recognize your potentials. They will know your characters. And I said, in that context, the man who bought Yusuf from the slave market was a governor. And running the state, Yusuf was highly exposed to the dynamics of running a government, of governance principles. So Allah says, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَنَّا لِيُوسُفِ الْأَرْضِ وَلِنُعَلِّمُهُ مِنْ تَعَوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Allahu Akbar. Look how Allah is just explaining how He is training and orientating this young boy to become the greatest of the great, because the boy has a vision since the age of almost 10 to 11 years. So the man who bought him said to his wife, take care of this boy. This boy can either be a benefit to us, the whole nation, or we can consider him as a son. Because this man doesn't beget a son. He didn't beget a son. So the only way for him to replace his, for future of the son is to take Yusuf as a son. But the man says, يعني أكرمني مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا. Maybe he would benefit of not me alone, but the entire nation. And actually, this is what happened. He redeemed and he rescued the nation from hunger by laying a principle of economy and finance, which is still now in this 21st century. 2025 is still applicable in the world, especially in the agricultural sector. ولهذا بدينا agricultural export for the sort of use of power. أبغى على بعض الجديد والسنون تليلا من PhD بمبلولا من نفاج على حنين بي. إلى نسورة من يسون PhD دي فهمي كلين تلسببه أتشتابنا. So for that matter, Allah just point back at the vision of the focus. We talk on the first strategy. Yusuf the Wadamana in Egypt. I started to bridge it over. Muswana situation. Musokare Boilakam. But look, consistency is where. In Surah Minna, the Surah to Yusuf, the fourth verse there, Allah says, نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص, the best of narrations. Look, underline the word the best. But at the same time, when Yusuf was molested, was attacked by the woman under whose care, the husband has put him, Allah says, كذلك لنصرف عنه السوء إنه من عبادنا المخلصين. So if you have a vision, make sure that don't be very weak in the face of temptation. Whether it is the temptation of the body, or the temptation of the mind, or the temptation of the spirit or the soul. Make sure that you are very strong, because when you are strong, and you can only be strong by just becoming somebody who is continuously conscious of the presence of Allah in your life and in your situation. Yusuf was there. What happened in the house? The Quran narrated everything. He was taken to prison, and in that prison there, he met another two colleagues there. And one of the colleagues is going to be called for Yusuf to reach the highest peak of power that is beside the king. You see? Yusuf is gradually moving now because the boy had a vision from day one. إِنِّي رَأَيْتُ أَحَدَ الْعَشْرَ كَوْكَبًا. So everybody among us must set a goal for himself. Say that I want to be a president, I want to be a scientist, a pilot, I want to be an agriculturist, I want to be a revolutionary, name it anywhere. Whatever you want to be, just follow the practical lines and the practical procedures, you will reach it. So Yusuf is here in the prison. He interpreted dreams with God in the prisons, and because of those dreams, he was just called by the king and the king appointed him as another governor, but the condition that Yusuf has asked the king for his appointment to be fulfilled and accepted is all the publications and the lies and the falsehood that were lodged against him has to be accelerated completely. He has to be a clean person before he accepts the post. We have a vision. You want to live society. You want to be somebody who is going to transform your society positively. Make sure that all the evil, the negative side of your life, make sure that it is easily or steadily eradicated before you just aspire for the highest office in the world. So Yusuf alayhi salam was called by the king and appointed as an agricultural minister or a director of agriculture or a manager of finance and name it, whatever you can name it. It's something that the livelihood of the society, Yusuf was in charge of it. But the condition that Yusuf asked the king for him to be appointed as a minister is, I want you to appoint me, empower me, and make me the supervisor, the minister, the permanent secretary, the director, the minister, over what? The livelihood of the people. That's the finance. That's the food. But the condition is what? In me, because me, Hafizun, I can save, I can protect, because I am honest, I have an integrity, I have a dignity, and have the power to protect whatever is for the public. In me, Hafizun, Aminun, and I am honest and trustworthy. I will never steal anything from the public, public resources. So this is Yusuf. The vision is here. And Yusuf is now appointed as a minister. Gradually, Yusuf is going to that highest level. At the end of the day, Yusuf is going to be a king. This is why in verse number 111, Yusuf himself was speaking. He said, verse number 108, ربي قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث أنت فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت ولي بالدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما والحقني بالصالحين. This is a very interesting and very important verse. I wish anybody who aspires to be a president should understand this verse. When it is properly understood, we will never have a president that is going to betray the trust and the confidence of the people, especially Africa generally. He said, my Lord, you have given me power, occasion. One. Number two, you have taught me how to interpret and analyze events. You are the creator of the earth and the sky and the earth. And you are my supporter in this life and in the next life. If you are killing me or if you are stopping my life, you are claiming my life, kill me in a state of a peaceful fashion that is being a Muslim. Well, just leave the study here and make sure that I am in the company of the righteous. This should be the theme. This should be the principle. This should be the constitution. This should be the number one, word that every leader should use when we are just telling them to take care of. So this is the vision of Yusuf, to fast track the whole story, and here comes the end of Surah Yusuf concerning Yusuf, and this is about vision. Are you with me?
Yeah, we are with you.
Okay, the third one is what? Yeah, that's the consistency. And in the course of narrating the story of Yusuf, we discover a consistency in the lifestyle of Yusuf, in his attitude, in his propensity, in his inclination, in his attitude, in his relationship to his Creator Allah. Even in preaching, he was preaching that people should not be worshipping different idols, but people should be obedient to only one Creator, that is Allah. And he is telling people that this is the religion that Allah has people, and it is a favor that is generalized upon every human being, but most people don't understand. And we must know that in that chapter called Surah Yusuf, we have almost 23 characters in that chapter. And those 23 characters are everywhere in the world. And among the most prominent characters is Donald Trump is in that chapter. Donald Trump is in that chapter. And if somebody could tell me where is Donald Trump in that chapter, I would tell you Donald Trump is where the king asked people to explain the dream to him. Because the king said that he saw saving ones. And serving, what they call it, tinsel, in our Mandinka, that is, tinsel, tinsel, green ones and dry ones. But when the king, put the matter to the so-called emperor, the nearest emperor to the king, they say, okay, this is a confused dream. We have no knowledge of interpreting dreams. And this is exact representation of Donald Trump. Donald Trump thinks everything which is not Donald Trump in this world is bad, except this. Okay, can we go interactive now?
Okay, thank you very much for that insightful section. So we just, I said thank you very much for that insightful talk or speech. We are really following up and it's really interesting, yeah. By the way, we just want to acknowledge the presence of our President of the Government Students in Malaysia, who is Mr. Musirikan, and the Secretary General, who is Fatmata. So we acknowledge your presence and we are really happy for you being here. Thank you for the support that you have been rendering to us, and we hope you are going to continue. We pray for you to have long life and best of education. So now I think I will give the floor to people that want to ask you maybe a question, then they can ask them. I think that is good, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, so anyone that wants to ask a question, just raise your hand and then I will give you the floor to ask. Sheikh. Okay, Sheikh Mogasama, you have a question? You can go on, Sheikh Mogasama.
Yeah, I have a question. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to ask you regarding the consistency. So in Surah Luqman, Allah tells us that about Luqman advising his son with wisdom, including being steadfast in prayer, avoiding arrogance and hurting person. So how can we apply this lesson today to build our discipline and the earlier ambition to our life and consistency in our action today?
That's a very good question anyway. And actually, it is the core of the whole discourse. Actually, you see, consistency, as I mentioned, is not useful. When the Quran describes the direction of Yusuf as the best in the superlative personal qasas, Yusuf himself actually, in three different contexts, he has been consistently, he has been described as a righteous person. The fourth one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 22 says, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah says once he reached maturity, we endow him with wisdom and knowledge. And this is how we recompense righteous people. Look, the word righteousness, because the story is described as the best of stories, and here the word muhsinin means the most righteous, the best of people. So look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, since he has explained Yusuf, defined Yusuf as a muhsin, the same attributes or adjectives consistently are being used for this man. Let's go again where Yusuf is in the prison. When the two colleagues or the companions in the prison saw a vision, they themselves saw a vision in the prison. One of them, actually, they are both working for the king. They were near the seat of power. Perhaps there was a conspiracy or a coup d'etat, an attempted one. And you see, these people are very civilized. As long as, there is no established, indicting these two people, they are going to be put in prison until investigations are completed. And in that prison, one of them saw a vision that he was just pouring alcohol or drink for the king. The other says, he saw himself being tied up, but parts were hidden above his head. This were a vision. And in that context, before they asked Yusuf to interpret these, they themselves describe Yusuf as the righteous person. إِنَّا لَنَرَاكَ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ in the prison. Imagine a prison. This is why Yusuf has three different lives. Yusuf was living with his family, which is a family life. Yusuf came into a borrowed family, and is the man who bought him from the slave market. And the third way of living, that the circumstance and the environment which Yusuf will live was in the prison. And in that prison, they defined him as a righteous person. Look at the consistency. And even when his brothers actually came to him appealing that, they have no enough resources, to buy food, and their situation, their condition is very bad in the home country. They appeal to Yusuf, not knowing that he was Yusuf. It's the same description that they use consistently. إِنَّا لَنَرَاكَ مِنَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. We see you as a righteous person. So, consistency is in the way you brought up that child. Consistency comes as a result of exporting that child or that young man, to the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for him to be constantly conscious of the presence of Allah. If that is done, because Yusuf, his father has built him into that personality. He is constantly, conscious of Allah's presence, and he is constantly fighting against, the pleasures of the flesh, the pleasures of the mind, the pleasures of the body, and the pleasures of the soul. That can only be done, as you rightly say, Luqman actually exposes, his son to the consciousness of Allah, so much so that, when somebody is constantly in mind with Allah, those negative attitudes and tendencies of arrogance and deceitfulness and just boastfulness will disappear, because you will know that you are nothing but a human being. So this is what actually, to be conscious of Allah, this is the only way, and that can only be done in the formative years. That is the year where the person is susceptible to accept and to receive whatever is given to them. But if that information is not given at the right time, in that formative period, it will be very difficult unless and until other situations contributingly, are added for them to keep and transform that person. But what is important is we must make sure that there is an exemplar paragon, somebody representing righteousness like Luqman. The parent must be the example, and the environment must be conducive to that person. But we are living in the internet age. If you should make a beautiful person out of your son or daughter in the house, the compound will destroy him or her, or the street will destroy him. The school will just destroy her or him. And even the mobile is the biggest Satan and the Dajjal in this 21st century. So the problem is we are living in a time where what I may call cultural and battles. We are living in a time where cultures are battling against each other, and the greatest and the strongest culture is going to be victorious over the weakest culture, and we are the weak side of this cultural war. And I don't see any other way for us to be victorious except until we just hold firmly, consciously, understandingly, intellectually, practically, morally, ethically, and consciously to the Holy Quran and the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
MashaAllah. Wow.
Are you satisfied?
Sure.
Are you there, Mr. Kasama?
Yes.
Have I given you enough water to quench your thirst?
Sure, yeah.
And then angale ka wala tendolo dino len sa angale ka wala tela akasu kono jana position la parliament na la madin ka bata ada kala nyadi we are the weakest member in the equation.
Okay, thank you for that insightful answer. Okay, so Bakar Madinka also wants to ask you a question. Bakar, you have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh. Shall I ask the question in English or in Mandinka?
Ake Mandinka kamala kwanza na fasu no ndike.
I remember them Yusuf la kula akafa daman qala jalni ala khazain al-ardi inni hafizun alim. lafta yani ni hadiso ya sanyan ni kan jang kelam telo kom Yusuf nyatonga ni nini la kom ajarta la bison Yusuf le aba kom ajarta la panam an mo hadiso jirga ko sahabu ko kila ko pura ka nyatong ko di blakari kila ka ko innaha amana wa anta bayt so lapeni kul le ko nyatong ka ni kul mo nyata sila pura ko kan accidentally wala kom inyanta hamu so pura ka nyatong ko
abaraka bake abaraba bajinka hakilo norata bake hakilo norata bake le yemin your correlation on mintigan comparison is very interesting because you want an a confusion of the model hakilo la lakin na suratul yusuf ya jibe ala ikisot sol fulota nyami bari ayala vision of afamaya londa ko yusuf ya ala ya tumbonne ayata dala nyin kammala asake nyaton koti ولكن أقوى يا أبتي إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. So nim planet so nim tilonin symbolically anin karo nim wal suda moy nim santa famoli fama maji moy oto duma famol nyanta kala nyadile oto go famoli fama maji yusuf le ka tandi ko yusuf le santole oto ala ya tumbo wala kam ito afama fananda ta fasana kai ko wakadhalika yatabika rabbuka imma bi tumbo nan la ya tumba jibaya be mina kelela abeka ndila famola abe mina jilela wa yuallimuka min ta'wil al-ahadith ade londin dila ka kul bonon to mi hadama de wala manya ye minje ila sibol kon wa yutimma ni'amatahu alayka amala ni'mati man dileka wa ana ali yaquba ali yaquba kan wa ibrahima li ibrahima wa ishaqa li ishaq akamunda ko mabodi mumo alimfa alafa waliyo bekafu mamkuto min beka wala tinna ay mamoni mumo kidi abawai kan mumo anim mamo ijika kendo yusuf ya wala soto na londa ibrahima atalo munyaton ko je fulabo ala ko kila nyadi wa tada abidlata ibrahima hanifa wato yusuf ya tamman sadada ye bandi ataman tarajinin kan ya madama atale sate bonni wodde ko atadron ne yalo musate la o biro nyanta kala nyamin katu garayo wa vision of fasarin mo minna ta tabaka suka amuno mutaka ayan saka amariye alaman sake bari yusuf ya lonna ko aketa nyawanya agammalo moti min se wo biro apply no practically and positively and progressively adamali alon katu ayasa ka theoretically and biro fasarole di kenmola but to put in a practical context adamali alon dum kana ni ko Miya Yusuf from Marseille to Wafanambu Governor Latino. Yusuf without dinding, he was a peer. He was seeing how the country was being run, the finance, the economy, the agriculture, the society, the security. I will tell on the Walatina wa ayo to Alapanyadi, wa kadhalika makanna li Yusuf al-ard. Upon the somebody Yusuf la walidu al-limahu. Zalam din the munna min ta'awil al-ahadith. Hada majwala manya ma kama change actions. Iba interpret la nyadi to produce the end result. A sort of a prophetic prediction in Kamala Aselo. Lakin the limpula kumata pake min ngininkate. Yusuf adala quality. Adala qualification of baby jele walakinna. Amanjal mansake mina farasa bilanata. Ako walamma ja'ahu bilanata kunyadi. وكلمه عنادي قال أكاك إنك اليوم لدينا أكاك مكين أمين إذا يوتو بيت ولا تلين سادته you are highly empowered you are and you are highly secured in this country man sakay empowered yala because ayala potential from the law more things than vision or interpret no Otowamari have all the knowledge application of our vision in real life. Whereas in the Yusuf, he was created to be a king. And the monkey for Amaginim can. Because I knew for another market, if I do kundi la bania do kundi at Kanyama. Whereas in the Amanyan, Ika squire in Esquire, Ika monkey, Ika try Anglo in Esquire. Yade, Ikana Kulumota, Yake. namandika ka to banna tubabu man sale wotuki e kana kulumota yaake carrière wote muna se benno ba mo je tabiro keno kulumon ma tollala
hali
muga keno bari carrière wala ka tabiro ke to kulumon mo tura lawlati e kana kulumon ke carrière wote carrière wote kulumoti to Yusuf kamin tandi jangolom atela man say quality bijanyan tajiri dale walakin naniya kawo minno bari imate ko mo kam bari yake pour mo la nafale kam ako moni ko adin tombo mbakela bandi imate jam fale fanan kede walakin na Yusuf man sakiya ko jadi ako ani honesty and trustworthiness bana fona ta wala ba ko mai ako hafizun kada be gomen kono gobono ya anena man sujaro kana na man tapaleji o kola mina ko alimun londo be bulla ka dum de bulunum atele mu gobono ti akan banko samba nyame I have deep knowledge and the dynamics of governance walakin na ya fomo tom ala ta satele mako al saibo minna ta kila sallallahu wa saibo kila le molu lo molu fomoti kila la saibo imam kufay minno aya lonni walakin na birana ta aya lonna kai ko e mutu do di dalam fude ta sambanola walakin na ila yo ma kwele ka kondi bata ko no minyan ta kelaka so mante ko ku kilo wati ye qualification o so ite la londo nyanta mol bala ko le akono ta fo mo de ko alen tonko bari kana fo mo li en tombo iman no wala alen tombo puri ko ko le be moroto wala en tombo puri pa be mo demma wala en tombo puri mo ko ya tombo amin de bosin do afrika be tan ko ko ni man ni ko le ta nya ko almale ma ko so de to yi so ne karandi okay
amin ya rabbal
alamin ko buka sama apa ida bamba jenga
Kwenda
akana fa de malula na man ko na fa man ko de
Okay, I think that is well said, that is well answered also. So, I think Mudlamin Kinde also have a question. Mudlamin Kinde, am I right?
No, actually, I did not have a question. I just want to thank the Sheikh for the wonderful lecture. We have learned a lot today. Thank you so much.
Anyone else with a question? You can just raise your hand. Okay, Muhammad Lamin Grame.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jaga Sheikh kondo falo janim be nyen garo kala. Yin ka dandane na be mbulu wala mu yenyi banke nyi maldinge jam. Sai tebe ku nyi sambala dame ma fa wala ndalla mar nyake nya be nyame especially na Africa bankol kam. Sai ndenge nyi be fo Yusuf la mankutol do. Why in the Laman Sakundal, Bukani Siva Sopnoji, the Lamiro of Belacri Munkusivala, or a Mundajica Siva Belacri Willa. For me, as Sabu, Ibani Yusuf Lani Marina can do Sivaso.
Baraka Bakatra, Baraka. Yanum Africa Alhalo Membique, Africa Alhalo, Africa Panandesa, Janli Nimuru Takoma, Sandy Kemenani. Kadava Sandy Kemerulu command to Africa the Tenno. Africa the Alhala Jawing, but I'll Jawin La Prote. Najatum Polu Jamabi, Italoman Yato Long, Imam Fishonos of the Cabin Yama, Ninyatum Koma Fishonos of the wall of Abuka's former Abuka Bidano. Because Kunung, being Yantakela, Kunun Yantakela Karambumala de Pubi. But beef and onion takana salwale ke purukata so. So akakatanya men don bari colonialism nada. Ponya watu wakin ka colonialism blame. And then neo-colonialism. Ponya lo fancy blame because tumabu kunna nata silo minna. A silo akapolea bakele for you to redeem and liberate yourself from it. Or of mental slavery. Adabati wanaye karandi ala chosano la toro. Akete la chosano fundi afonya itenya koton. Labama ike famo komne famo fembete la karola ibuka la fal. Lakin Yusuf alayhi salam ala bin solo the mukule in the mitiri mol me not only mofin kunda. Enya bejan takala la tukule to do wolu molia karaya ngini imbiji. Yaje akuba brinka tindi waka fundi al. I dinga hakilo murundi amure la dim e baba yimti anaka hakilo murundi amapala dim islam anaka hakilo murundi atafola atemiya lo ka tele yusufa yin kammala three dimensional source of inspiration ay kunda amala la jamiya lo ko ayanta ala dondo tala dani yusufa ko kila wanyama yusufa ya kunda amala ta ay dondo tani dani Yusuf bagi wali akan fatanan soin kepala bakada pula Yusuf kandanan sopula Yusuf bin masuk kandanan sopula din sensible corresponding to hadama di wala kalsana kini nimba danding ako ni bile buta wa danding ala biological reality nala nimba danding musula kula abandanding ala laful wala ala chatu wala dia in the ending kasola wa pretending the psychological aspect of dimension. Yaje nindulalu ni donta doro Yusuf nilu be azunta konon. Nindulu man timma watu minna wala timna nyatu mkachendo watu. Ikatandi kolea chau pale kono nyinkama wa kolea. Ikata akikalo na falaba wa niya sembo sa ibukala simboni ya kamdu wa kolea. Mwafin kunda bri yang karandi tubabu kankarawale. Imam karandi tubabu karaw tubabu kan karaw wala ABC 1 2 3 ya kaito dile koy di exam mo pass di sahada di certificate ita na da ya fa wala nyadi de ita botela mol kono wal ma 1 2 3 no ita ta wonno wali ya wala 1 2 3 dila ita ya fa mo jam fam di ya fa kuliya ne sa 1 2 3 moliya ni malon ita wala ta beliti bari man fu da mi ye karandi bete la ilaha illa wala ilaha illa you are neither there nor there. It's about that you are detached from your reality and you have not reached the reality of the master and you are suspended in the middle. Akamunda ko yeye bondi joko lima ke tulo kon akatundi de alfa. Lakin na tubabu kan karao. Mosu wal nyanta kudin nalal. De tubabu karao ke wala ka mosu banyato. Ba tubabu kan karao buka fet. Tubabu karao ko to bombenti e ka londo de taya do kundi. Londo ka jiko le dada jiko ka tonya da mata so da lamo fin do briyan karami yenna bula iko independence iko democracy ita man democracy do al man democracy for democracy min bal fa wala ban wo ko aliya o fay aliya Westminster wala White House democracy ta al kan ka o ta man di Gambia Black House ko bitano nyaadi obuka keno mo fumal fo wala kalandal fo mo problem wala ita ka mirota ita man do kunyata wo mirota tarwete ya ka ko miyo biro kwandi wo mandarete ya mega kela ikana fanya democracy wala the government of the people by the people and for the people. Who are those people? People memang 1 2 3 people mean the constitution e buka karando ka biya sa be wandi kawala people mean the law ay malo police wa ya maniga kawo de law tina umul kata control. So Africano is a bunch of confusion. And he must only be who he is. He must be an African, and he must be realistic with his African ancestry and his African project. Namo ke platitama. Namaran nyal bijan na Bangkok. The money empires, the Songa empires. Empires will go to the Tubaman Namafai. This is go and clean and excavate our political systems. The Taman in the coward, having the deputy Google under the Kawala Kafodi, or in the deputy Gawan be one Mangaramano, the Buka Hayakadia. You wait a year Magica Kamotiga, Olbukata, when you under the Kamoti under the Kawan. Under the Kamotida, I tell our Westminster. So, problem of a journey, transforming them from black skin, white mask. If you go forward, you call a table, you can do Paimala, it's your television. Hadamatimu ila miro nani la paludula fatata. Ila paluja nani la paludula fatata. Ila mira nani la paludula fatata. Ila dino nani tonya fatata. Ibuka keno moti. Ita kaka robot la jumasimu. Ikesa maladi ya Kenya. Lakin na mofim kunda. Itole mansa yake domo dulat. Ye mansa yake haji jara dulat. Mansa ya Yusuf kwanya kwa haji. Hadamatimu wala haji wajara. Ke tanka boyin kawal ke tanka konkol ka safe sambanyato كبادي مول تاتي نمبر ولكن لا يوسف نافو بادي مول كتا كلمات بريا توجروا من بيتا أقول لا تصريب عليكم عليكم موفين كنا تبلا لا موفين كنا بتاكل هذا ما موفين ممرو كانوا إمجمالك منا منتج مبتا منتول منا تنم بكلته منا تنم بكلته وماذا من وندي بيرو تونكو كم ده بامكور ده ماليزيا سنغافورة إندونيسيا وكذا بجانب بي ولا بور تباب كنا نير مرال ولا بينك يا تباب كنا ندم كوتا يا بنديرة يا ماليزيا ندم كودو ولكن ماليزيا بيرو صدو ولكن ماليزيا بوكو الله عليهم ديما
آمين
آمين يا رب العالمين يا شيخ
يعني أرباب المتفرقون خير أم الله الواحد القهار فك دي على جمال ولا بسيادة على كنو من سمو باركم ولكن هذا ما جمعني تقول they form multiply into 3 different people of personality in one body. Ita ka nyong kongkoro bantaria ala fola kengen kamala kada jangol nyong kongkoro ya du bobeti ya nyong kongkoro para mabeti ya hada madi alma le ma
آمين آمين آمين
آمين آمين آمين يا رب العالمين ورجي كده nyong kongkoro ya mumena ko duat almalim betan kan
atela mun ko be jamat walakin alquran wa suratul munafiqun ala alhalul min dal nyong kongkoro ma nyalo bal nyong kongkoro ya dan nyong kongkoro ma le Abada bande mo. Donc Africa politician on est non concoro ya na fa ke dal jaya non concoro wol. Se di fanyano e ti falo. Ne asid dio boy kay buka fa. Te balom de mo si fa ke malom.
Thank you for that. Did anyone have
Alkana ke politician on tene alka scientist on agronomy solo. Ali ke Islamic jurisprudence on na paluti. Ali ke Quran on na paluti. Ali ke hadith on na pal. But politician ya alkana ke politician on in the conventional sense or alka politician on in the Islamic sense. That is you go there for the people and by the people and for the interest of the people for change positively, progressively and transformatively. But the kata ke la kodi ba ke kifo kono. Momo ya ke tumbo be badukan kaburo. Tumbo dun kono bukafa.
Thank you very much, Sheikh, for that wonderful advice. I hope me and my mates are really going to take up this advice. So, does anyone else have any question to ask Sheikh Hama? If you have a question, you can just raise your hand up and I will give you the floor to ask.
Ala timing benyadi amansi follow. Mimi salo sika.
Mimi jamal daktaje wala nakti promo dinika.
Okay, ha gol fanan ter minute dulu prosalo yes. 5 minutes kita jam prosalo.
Okay. Odo na wala say au negara ga ku janto. Ini ma pula lafta modi yang kira kamera mara ko kira kamera mara kaka atis na maka pula so dunia kai dan so na wodi ne kere. Ka saya ada baju modi yang kai. Sebagai podcast ni, insyaallah ni ada orang saya ada mudi yang berapa kali ni. Mulut biji, all of the Q&A. They wanted to join, but they couldn't join because of their work.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate. So on that note, we just want to have a proof of the session. Like if you turn on your camera, please on it, and you just have a screenshot of the screen, that we can keep it as a proof for us.
Oh, mashallah. Okay, I want to give you a one of his man of time in the video.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
We are hearing you.
Okay. Lafta kumandina dilala.
Okay.
Allah din bati ada bakele. Ninkan tol fanam. Akatinna len tol fanam ka depo. Akata nyawa nyam bangol lam pampudul wala pamarewol. E kan la moyle dum fana yalon na ko kudan tan bijen so kenol. ada mo be ko la ya mo diata back bari laftamin na wala generation to atul la generation o min be wulika la fita dukare ale alati Allah tadrato ale muhammadu ke Allah patabiyatu ale qur'ano ke Allah constitution oti wala ni be muhammad ke patabiyatu wala ala sunno ya ke patabiyatu ale qur'ano ke constitution oti ya qur'ano mo be famo panna dunia albe karam faso men bela qur'ano ya lande walakin suratul yusuf damma naka min fo mo be kabrin jatti entire umma over 8 billion people dunia kono kadin ta fala muslimo damma the entire human race suratul yusuf damma nim moli ya lo e be dina to ya apply na paru kono nin dunia so keno arjana Somalia marla momo bal kono atilo kana boy almam fonda and reflect or read or try to understand and pass in Surah Yusuf. Bola kana fala Allah barakat batiswa.
Thank you very, very much for that wonderful speech. I think we will also be reaching you out in the Sunnah, inshallah, because we want to continue doing this. As we all know, we are kids. I would say we are kids in the Islamic religion because we don't know much. We are looking out for you guys to convey or to deliver or to relay some of the information or to relay some of the knowledge you have to us so that we can also be motivated. We can also at least have a positive impact from the knowledge that we've learned. So on that note, we will be reaching you out sooner, inshallah. We want to do this continuously. So let all the audience in that joint today know that we are going to reach out to him. Our Sheikh is one person that supports youth and youth activities. We will follow it in over and over. So on that note, it's already time for prayers. We just take picture and Kalas, inshallah. Okay, can you?
Assalamu alaikum.
So I will insert, then we keep it as it is, inshallah.